We're gonna call to order the city council meeting, regular meeting. He'll be here soon. Well, he's here. He's here. So I will, I'm gonna do it slowly. Can you please do roll call?
Councilmember Manarino Thompson.
Here.
Councilmember Hammond.
Present.
Mayor Garrett.
I am here. He is here.
I think he was talking to Christine when he went downstairs.
Oh.
Mayor Pro Tem. Mayor Pro Tem Cantor.
Here.
All right.
One more? So you can say that he's absent. Okay.
Councilmember Jennings.
Thank you.
Absent.
I'll make a motion to excuse Councilmember Jennings.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Manarino Thompson.
Yes.
Councilmember Hammond.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Cantor.
Yes.
Mayor Garrett.
Yes. Now I invite everyone to say the Pledge of Allegiance. Oh. Pledge of Allegiance
Congratulations.
To the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next, I have the approval for the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Is there any discussion, any additions, subtractions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Hammond.
Yes.
Councilmember Manarino Thompson.
Yes.
Mayor Garrett.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Cantor.
Yes.
Motion passes. Next, we have a presentation, proclamation for family,
Protective Parents of Michigan.
huh?
Protective Parents of Michigan and Family
Court?
Awareness.
Do you want to come to the podium and explain what it is? Thank you. Oh, it's in the thing. That's-
Good evening, everyone. I think you guys can hear me. I don't really have to speak into this. I'm Gwen Thomas, and many of you might know me. I've been working in and around Metro Detroit, working, advocating for families for a long, long time. And today I'm here for Protective Parents of Michigan. November is Family Court Awareness Month. And the individuals who work in this area asked me, would I be so kind to come to Lathrup Village because you were providing a proclamation. I wanted to give you, if you will, just a little bit feedback, and then I'll tell my own stories, and I promise to be brief because of the game. But child safety should be a priority, we would think, in family court. And it gets particularly nasty, sensitive, and lots of abuse, mental, physical abuse surrounds that whole scenario of those individuals that are involved, okay? And so 1 in 3 Michigan families are directly impacted by domestic violence. As you know, this is Domestic Violence Prevention Month. So it's only fitting that we talk about both things. We've probably all seen some form of abuse. By now, you've seen the circle of abuse and what that means. For those who don't, there is physical abuse, which many of us know about. But extended in that cycle is is emotional and mental and financial abuse. Now, I'm going to intertwine my experience. Had I had, I should say, $65,000 that I spent in custody sure would help me now as I'm a senior citizen. Okay? I didn't need it to put my kid through college, thank God. But the point is, that is what's happening with many families. They're being torn apart. Financial is just one aspect. And so what's happening now is that there are judges who are not well aware, I should say, of the case histories, and they're not trained in domestic violence. They're not trained in all aspects of custody issues that might affect families. Going back some 30-something years ago, I was in a situation where my son, who's a good kid by the grace of God, but I had a stalker as an ex-husband that stalked me for 19 years. Okay, the court, they just throw it up in the pot. Oh, you're both crazy. That's such a simple thing. But I remember a counselor that I talked to, and I gave him my story, and he said to me, now, he says, I want to tell you something, but if you say that I said this, I will deny it. If I were you, I would leave town, change my name, and not let anyone know where you are. Because he is going to stalk you for the next 18 years. Well, I didn't want to leave my family. You know, my dad was ailing, and he was right. He was right. He said, this is a case book narcissist. And I didn't know what to do, but the only thing I thought to do was fight. And I had been successful in my early part of my career, and I used every dime that I had been saving. Every time you turn around, there was a charge that I had to pay attorneys. Who wins? Many times it's not the children, it's the attorneys. And so, tragically, a lot of these custody battles in court are misunderstood by the judges. And the situation when it becomes where the child should go, with what parent, there's much research that has to be done. And they will throw it with sometimes people who are not culturally conscious of the situation. The quick thing is they want to get it off their docket, and that's it. And who loses? The child. The child loses. So when we look in terms of 60% of perpetrators who abuse their spouse will abuse their children. That's a sad number. The negative impact on post-separation from a young person or a child who is in both families is often overlooked. Post-separation, meaning that person is keeping their loved one. Imagine a mom, and a lot of people don't really realize that the numbers are going up. Imagine a mom who's separated from her child during tender years under 10 and can't hold and kiss on and hug their child. Who wins many times is the person who has the most money to pay the lawyers. And if you pay attention, it's like every time there's a situation, the dockets are long for minor situations. Not until judges say, wait a minute, stop all this. There's a lot who don't do that. There's some old school judges who are going to say, oh, this is ridiculous. Let's sit down. Don't come back to my court until there's a sensible order for that child to be whole. That's not happening. So this organization that I am in and out, and they ask me sometimes to work with some families, are working on legislation. Let me share with you. In 2008, 39 Michigan children have been murdered during divorce custody. And one of those children was Rowan Morridge Poles, P-O-L-S, from Caledonia, Michigan, who was not returned to his mom on a Sunday evening at the end of his father's visitation. You know, they had parenting times. It might be a weekend. It might be every other weekend. Mom was nervous. By 6 o'clock, you know, the kid wasn't home. She called the police, and they would not answer. They would not give an Amber Alert. By Monday, still no child. By Tuesday, the child was dead. So the legislation now is that is waiting in the Senate is now that if the parent suspects that that child is in danger, that Amber Alert will be issued. So that's pending legislation. The second pending legislation and you might think this might be something that would happen, but we have to advocate for the work, is Caden's Law. And Caden was a 7-year-old girl murdered by her father. And she had asked that the mother had asked that the court, the police department again intervene. In this case, it involved some judges who ignored the alarms. And Caden's Law is requiring mandatory training of judges when making custody decisions. You see, when they make custody decisions, they're scored. And it might be about 12 points where, you know, depending on the education of each one, depending on the spiritual background of each person, they're graded. And sometimes it's subjective to what the judge thinks. The judge is supposed to make a decision, but there are a lot of things, including culture, including awareness of history of those individuals, oftentimes fail to be researched. So what Caden's Law is requiring that judges who are making decisions regarding custody and visitation are up to date on mandatory training and are studying the case law and know what is going on with that family. I want to say I have been a victim of domestic violence. I don't look like what I've been through, thank God. My son is a very important person in society. He does very well, but his mom has many gray hairs. But the challenge I took on was to advocate what I knew what was right. Many people don't have the means to do that. So I just want to thank this body for realizing that there should be voice in this topic and that you are recognizing the importance of Family Court Awareness Month. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for giving the background. It's interesting that we go through proclamations and we, do them and kind of, we can read it at face value, but it means more to hear exactly what you said. And then the one thing that I did notice is that the most of this legislation appears to be is that for the west side of the state? Oh no, she just represents that side.
No, the legislation came from the west side of the state. And now we're trying to get the awareness. I mean, if you know anything about, for example, Wayne County, they don't even have in-person hearings anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are no court watchers. There are a lot of subjective issues when you talk about family court. And I'm going to say this, I know you have to go, but I advocate right now for a young woman who is a school teacher. Now, if any school teachers in the room? So you know that school teachers have a responsibility. If they see something, they have to say something.
Right.
They know that if there is a child who is abused, they have to report it. The other thing, if a child is given ADHD medication, there must be a plan, because you don't want to just give kids medication. And I'm advocating right now for a woman who has lost custody based on the fact she's a school teacher to refuse to give her child ADHD medicine because the judge ordered it, but there was no plan. So now the child has been on, and this was not a child that was, kind of, unruly. But imagine, if you know anything about medication, 6 years this child has been on this ADHD medication. So imagine what they say the ADHD medicine does for kidneys. So these are the kind of things that the judge had no idea. I was in that hearing, and she just listened to the opposing counsel saying, oh, it makes them concentrate. If you're a teacher, you're supposed to have a plan. So these are the kind of little things that fall, well, it's a big thing that falls through the cracks. Again, thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And so I'm going to drop down. It says, whereas Family Court Awareness Month aims to encourage collaboration among legislators, advocates, professionals, and the community to improve family court practices, ensuring they are guided by evidence-based research and prioritize the safety and best interests of children. Now, therefore, I, Michael Garrett, Mayor of the City of Lathrup Village, and on behalf of the Lathrup Village City Council, hereby declare the month of November 2025 to be the Family Court Awareness Month.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Do I give this to you? No.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
And if you are looking for grants for your child to go to school,
So they-
this is the person that you want to
My
talk
other
to.
life is they call me the scholarship mom.
Absolutely.
I work
she
with
is.
students, getting them on the trajectory to win scholarships to close this wealth gap. I mean, many years ago, we didn't have this kind of debt, and so we're trying to help families get on that trajectory. So if I can be of any help, every year we do an event called the Black Friday Scholarship Boot Camp. It's always on Black Friday, so when families are out shopping for Christmas gifts, our students are shopping for scholarships.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There is another proclamation, so I should have said that there was an adjustment to the approval of the agenda. Or should I just do it during our comments? I can do it just during our comments.
You could do it now. It's fine.
Okay, so this is a proclamation for Constitution Week, which was supposed to be in September. Oh, yes, this is October. I'm thinking it's November. September 17th, 2025 marked the 238th anniversary of the framing of the Constitution of the United States of America by the Constitutional Convention. Whereas Public Law 915 guarantees the issuing of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States of America designating September 17th through 23 as Constitution Week. Now therefore be it resolved, I, Michael Garrett, Mayor of the City of Lathrup Village, on behalf of the Lathrup Village City Council, do hereby proclaim the week of September 17th through the 23rd, 2025 as Constitution Week, and urge all citizens to study the Constitution and reflect on the privileges of being an American with all the rights and responsibility that privilege entails. That's it. Next, we will have, you want me to sign this one?
Sure.
Okay. Public comment, if there's anyone that would like to be heard regarding anything that's on the agenda, please come to the lectern and state your name, please. If there's anybody that wants to be heard for anything on the agenda, please come to the lectern and state your name.
We did get this email from Ms. Anderson related to the proclamation that you just read.
Mm,
Does that count as a,
No, because I did the proclamation. The other one will be during our,
yes, but there was the one that she sent about the proclamation.
no, I would say I read the proclamation.
Okay.
Anyone else? Okay, so consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second?
It's been moved in second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Manarino Thompson,
Yes.
Councilmember Hammond.
Yes.
Mayor Garrett,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Cantor.
Yes.
Motion carries for the consent agenda. Next, we'll go down to action requests for consideration and approval. First up is the request to appoint Lathrup Village Police Chief and approve employment agreement.
Thank you, Mayor. So as council is aware, Police Chief McKee has announced that he will be retiring from his position at the end of the calendar year. After having thorough discussion with him over the past few months, we believe we have a qualified internal candidate, Lieutenant Mike Zhang, whom we would recommend appointing to Police Chief effective January 1, 2026. He has tentatively accepted the position, as this is required by ordinance for council confirmation. That's what we're looking from you tonight. Unfortunately, both of them could not be here as they had prior conference commitments before we got this on agenda. But we did include 2 letters in your packet that I'll read real quick just so everyone can hear their thoughts. So this one's from Lieutenant Zhang. Thank you for considering me for the next police chief of the great city of Lathrup Village. Never in my wildest dreams did I think as a young boy riding his bike through this very city, I would have had the opportunity to lead the men and women of this department someday. From the very beginning of my career in 2007, I've never taken this job for granted. The values and work ethic instilled in me from a young age have carried with me throughout my life, and I hope that each one of you don't just see a man in uniform, but also a compassionate and caring human being. Over the last 19 years, I've risen through the ranks from reserve clerk to part-time officer to full-time officer to sergeant to lieutenant, and with your blessing, chief of police. I've taken each and every position seriously and have tried my hardest never to lose focus on taking care of all the citizens of Lathrup Village. The police department is a vital pillar of the community, and I've never taken that lightly. I aim to continually improve our practices, and it has been a blessing to contribute to many successful endeavors at the department over the years, most notably being the accreditation manager and joining an exclusive pool of police agencies that have attained accreditation status, which LVPD earned in 2024. I hope to continue to lead this department with poise, vision, and professionalism for years to come. Additionally, supporting internal promotions is significant to morale and growth within our agency. By approving my contract, you are also open the position of sergeant, which will be awarded to one of two very deserving officers who are looking to grow in their careers too. When an external chief is hired into an agency, especially a small agency, it keeps those who have dedicated their careers to this city stagnant. And I can think of several officers underneath me who deserve the chance to become sergeants. While I'm unable to attend the next council meeting in person due to attending a training conference, please know that I am with you in heart and will be watching live. I've always strived to make the community proud and have tried to leave a lasting impression as somebody who deeply cares for those in need. If given this opportunity, I vow to continue to give residents the same level of commitment I've had over the past 19 years. Once again, thank you for your consideration. I look forward to the next decade to continue serving the residents of our great city. And then with a recommendation letter from Chief McKee, it is with great pride and confidence that I recommend Detective Lieutenant Michael Zhang for promotion to the position of Police Chief for the City of Lathrup Village. Having had the privilege of working closely with Lieutenant Zhang throughout his career, I can attest to his professionalism, integrity, and unwavering commitment to the department and community. Since beginning his service with Lathrup Village Police Department in 2007, Lieutenant Zhang has consistently demonstrated outstanding leadership and dedication. His career progression speaks to both his abilities and his character. From his promotion to Sergeant in 2015 and subsequently to Lieutenant in 2022, Lieutenant Zhang has excelled in each role, earning the respect of his colleagues and the community. As second in command, he currently oversees all operations of the department with skill, accountability, and a steady hand. Lieutenant Zhang's education and professional accomplishments are extensive. He is a graduate of Orchard Lake St. Mary's and holds a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from the University of Michigan Dearborn. His specialized training as an evidence technician, detective, accreditation manager, and graduate of Michigan State University's prestigious Staff and Command program uniquely position him to take on the responsibilities of Chief of Police. In recognition of his service and excellence, he has twice been honored with the Lions Club Officer of the Year Award. What distinguishes Lieutenant Zhang, however, is not only his professional expertise, but also his deep connection to the Lathrup Village community. Having previously lived in the community and maintained strong personal relationships here, he understands the unique character and needs of our residents. Over the years, he has devoted countless hours to building trust, fostering partnerships, and ensuring that our department remains approachable, responsive, and respected. Lieutenant Zhang's commitment to the city of Lathrup Village is steadfast. He has expressed his intent to serve our community throughout the entirety of his career, and his proven track record makes him the ideal candidate to lead the department into the future. I have full confidence that under his leadership, the Lathrup Village Police Department will continue to provide exemplary service, uphold the highest standards of integrity, and strengthen its bond with the community. For those reasons, I strongly and unequivocally recommend Detective Lieutenant Michael Zhang for the appointment of Chief of Police. I'm certain he will lead with distinction, honor, and dedication benefiting the city of Lathrup Village.
Who would like to make a motion?
I would happily make a motion to confirm Michael Zhang as the police chief of the city of Lathrup Village effective January 1st, 2025, and approve the employment agreement.
A second.
You said 2026, right?
2026. I was looking at the page, it says 2025. Oops. 2026.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
I did send a couple of emails to Chief McKee and City Administrator Green asking if other candidates had been considered, and just based on, the other candidates had not been considered for the reasons that were outlined in both the letters that were written and was brought up in the study session as well. You know, in our police department, we're trying to create a culture of progression, career progression. We want to create a culture where our police officers want to stay with our police force. So we want to award dedication. Lieutenant Zhang has, led our city's accreditation program through. I took a note on this, so let me pull it up. The accreditation with the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police's Michigan Law Enforcement Accreditation Commission, which we were one of the first communities in the state to actually receive that accreditation. So I asked a question about the length of the agreement. There was an answer that was given during the study session about it is proposed to be a 10-year agreement. In a lot of other cities, they'll go with shorter contracts of somewhere between 2 and 5 years. In our city, Chief McKee was provided with a 10-year agreement with the intention that he retire, and that's as a Lathrup Village Police Chief, and that is happening. So I think that in the spirit of that history, and with the intention of encouraging Lieutenant Zhang to stay on as chief until he retires in 10 years, it seems appropriate to offer a lengthy contract like that. And I also had asked a question about if there had been any disciplinary actions or complaints against Lieutenant Zhang at any time during his career in our police force, and I got an email back from Chief McKee that said, Lieutenant Zhang is an exemplary employee. He has no negative contacts, no complaints, no suspensions, and no unsatisfactory performance reviews in his employee file. I highly recommend Lieutenant Zhang's promotion to police chief. So I think we've done our due diligence in terms of, it is a great promotion, a great hire initially, and a great promotion now, and I wholeheartedly support promoting Lieutenant Zhang to police chief.
Is there any other discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Cantor.
Yes.
Councilmember Hammond.
Yes.
Councilmember Mannarino Thompson.
Yes.
Mayor Garrett.
Yes, motion carries. Next, we have the request to approve support of the Transportation Alternatives Program grant application for 11-mile crosswalk enhancements.
Thank you, Mayor. So we briefly touched on this during the study session, but every couple years, SEMCOG gives out grants called TAP grants, Transportation Alternative Programs. It's a competitive federal grant managed by MDOT via SEMCOG, but these are really niche grants where they let us tackle traffic calming, signals and beacons, medians, ADA compliance, and as council is aware, there's not a lot of grants out there for road work. So city staff would like to apply to this grant with your blessing. Included in your packet is our rough design and cost estimate for this. Essentially, this would be doing some crosswalk enhancements and some signage around the Lathrup Boulevard 11-mile section, and it also includes substantial curb work that needs to be addressed. Total estimated cost right now for this project is roughly $200,000. The grant will cover 80% of construction activities. To be competitive, though, it is recommended that we provide a 30% match, and then on top of that, we do have to cover all engineering costs. So all in all, for a $200,000 project, our cost would be about $110,000 between our match and engineering.
Thank you. Motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the, I want to make sure I get the language right. Give me a
It says I
second.
recommend, oh, no, sorry.
I'll make a motion to approve the support for the SEMCOG Safe Street Now Transportation Alternatives Program grant application for 11-mile crosswalk visibility, signage, and curb enhancements.
Second?
It's been moved in second. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, just want to think, I think this is would be a good project. It will enhance the safety of 11 Mile, and especially the intersection of 11 Mile and Lathrop Boulevard, as well as alerts residents or motorists to the possibility of pedestrians at Southfield Road. My only concern, which I mentioned in the study session, which was alleviated, is we do have a very healthy major road fund. So this is separate from the general fund. This comes out of the road fund. At the end of the year, we'll have about $700,000 in the road fund, and with the increase that we just received from this, will receive from the state based on the last budget negotiation that was passed last week. We should be getting additional money, so we'll probably put about another $400,000 in the upcoming year into the major road fund. So I think we can afford this, but we also need to be mindful that we also need to be saving money in that road fund, because we do have projects that we're going to need to do relatively soon for 11 Mile Road, so that we can repair that road before it moves into a more severe category, which is going to cost us twice as much to repair it. So I think this is good, and will provide some additional safety and some repairs.
That was what I was gonna say, so you took it out of my mouth, because I was gonna ask how this is gonna be funded. One, to make very clear that it's coming out major roads, and also the fact that we did get the
increase.
the slap and then the hole.
Yeah.
You know, money was taken from our state revenue sharing, but then they gave us money to the major streets.
Right, so the state revenue sharing does hit our general fund, so that's just kind of another, we talk about death by 1,000 paper cuts,
Yes.
that's another paper cut. But this is the major road fund, which is completely separate.
Okay, well, thank you.
I did want to state that this is something, the security or the safety of that intersection at 11 Mile and Lathrup Boulevard has been discussed for a long time. I remember, Bruce, you talking during council meeting about having conversation with at least a couple of residents about ideas about putting markings in the intersection in the westbound 11 Mile lane at Lathrup Boulevard, just to make it more visible and try and control traffic speeds and things like that. And we, at the time, didn't have a good way to solve that problem. Well, that actual solution is part of what's proposed in this grant application. That intersection at Southfield Road and 11 Mile is one of the top 5 most dangerous intersections in Oakland County based on MDOT analysis. In fact, we did a grant, I think a year ago, to have an independent evaluation of the safety of that intersection, and there was a lot of recommendations that came out of that are in what's proposed as part of this grant application. And I'm the parent of a teenager who was almost T-boned at that intersection going southbound on Lathrup Boulevard, crossing 11 Mile, and while traffic was backed up, like it does get around there. So as somebody with personal experience of dodging a bullet due to the safety of that intersection, I wholeheartedly support this application.
Anything else? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mayor Garrett,
Yes.
Councilmember Hammond,
Yes.
Councilmember Manarino Thompson.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Cantor.
Yes.
Motion passes 0-7. Lions. Next, request to approve zoning ordinance amendment, solar and battery energy systems.
Thank you, Mayor Garrett. So give you some backstory on this. Back in January of this year, the DDA announced that we were working on redevelopment ready certifications, once again through the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. Best practice 2.6 became a focal point of this endeavor, which was for green energy infrastructure. We worked with the University of Michigan at Graham Sustainability Institute and Michigan Eagle on the first draft and subsequent drafts that came in the months that followed. It was very immense, over 20 pages at first, and it has been scaled back over the course of the last couple of months. Key points has been providing protection provisions for historic structures, mandating repair policies and historic district commission approval, provisions protecting structures from fire risks, including mandating that all permanent batteries revolving around these solar energy systems are not in the basements, which fire departments, plural, around the area have told us that they do not want this, including Southfield's fire department. It also very quickly became a joint task with protecting residents from potential bad actors who, as I was informed during the study session, they were in the area last week. So this does provide the building department here in Lathrup a way to go over plans and applications to ensure that residents are protected from any potential bad actors and to ensure that everyone is getting safe, sufficient green energy systems. So back in the September Planning Commission meeting, this was approved pending a amendment. That amendment was made and is now up to you for discussion and vote.
Thank you. Roll call. I mean, not roll call, sorry, I'm going too fast.
I'll make a motion to approve zoning ordinance amendment for solar and battery energy systems.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, I'll just say real quickly what I said in the study session. The things I like about this is the fact that it requires an administrative review to protect residents from fraudulent and unsafe installations. And then, you know, what you said about the batteries, that was the other thing that I liked about it, is they really stressed the battery safety to reduce the risk of any types of fires or electrocutions. So I think that was really strong in the ordinance.
Yeah, before our regular meeting started, Clerk Emanuel informed me that there is a registered power system, solar power systems vendor who is registered with the city for solicitation. So they may have been seen around the city in the previous week, but they're authorized to do that. And this is the next step beyond that, right? Once you make the decision that, yeah, I want to invest in a solar powered system for my home, like we want to make sure that there are safe controls in place to make sure it's done in an appropriate way, in a legal way, it's not fraudulent, and that the life cycle, the entire life cycle from beginning of installation to sunsetting or removing the system is done in a controlled manner. The City Planning Commission did a lot of work on this. We spent many, many months. Tom did a boatload of work on it, tons of research, and reached out to people that didn't get back to him, and then was able to eventually get input from them, experts and subject matter experts in solar power systems legislation. So thanks to Tom for supporting that. And this is also part of our redevelopment ready community certification requirements. So it's something we is a good target for us to get in place, this sort of ordinance language.
Thank you. Anyone else? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Hammond,
Yes.
Councilmember Manarino Thompson,
Yes.
Mayor Garrett,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Cantor.
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you. Next is a request to approve agreement with the City of Ferndale regarding use of Southwest Storage Area.
Thank you, Mayor. So this is a yearly agreement between numerous communities in Ferndale. So for those that don't know, whenever we do leaf pickup, we don't have a place to store them. Southfield does have a big yard where we'll take them there, and then they dispose them from there with help with SACRA. So this is just a yearly fee and yearly agreement with Ferndale and communities. So we're just looking for another approval.
Thank you. Who would like to make a,
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement between the City of Lathrup Village and the City of Ferndale regarding the use of the Southwest Storage Area.
Second.
it's been moved to second. Is there any discussion?
Hard to believe that there's no price increase from one year
Yeah,
to the next.
that's
So
shocking.
when do we get to see that? But so that's a good thing.
Yeah, we've been paying this, I don't know for how many years we've
Yeah.
had this relationship in place, so this is just continuing to do what we're already doing.
Thank you. Anyone else? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Manarino Thompson.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Cantor,
Yes.
Mayor Garrett,
Yes.
Councilmember Hammond.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next, we have the City Administrator report.
Nothing today, Mayor.
Thank you. City Attorney.
Nothing for me tonight.
Thank you. The DDA.
Yeah, so at the DDA meeting on last Friday, there was a proposal for the redevelopment of the triangle on the west,
East side.
yeah, east side, on the side that we're on. Actually, it was a pretty impressive proposal because I think it kind of meets the needs of both development and the residents. What it is, it's a greenhouse and farm. It's a retail, somewhat of a retail business in that they will sell native plants on occasion. It's not a retail business that's going to be open every day. It'll be just on a few times during the spring, and a few times in the fall. So it's not high traffic. So you got low traffic, and then around the greenhouse they're going to plant an orchard, of fruit tree orchards, and other vegetation. So it will screen the residents on both sides from having to look at the greenhouse. So that's kind of nice as well. So it's low impact. They also do, the woman who does this has a similar business on a much larger scale in Novi, Northville, something like that. I think it's an 11-acre farm, so she's got some experience. And then she also does a lot of community events where she does different types of classes on how to garden, how to plant native species, and so forth. And so it's kind of seems like it's a kind of a good fit in that it's maintaining the green space, while at the same time, providing some development for the city and some development revenue. The DDA did recommend that the DDA begin to negotiate for the parcel of land, so that will probably be coming up at the November DDA meeting. And then, just to be clear, so the DDA owns that property, but it's not actually in the DDA. So if this proposal goes through and the property is sold, the proceeds will go to the DDA, but the ongoing revenue would come into the city, because it's not in the DDA area. We also talked about the Lathrup Village Music Festival. We got the post-event debrief, and the one thing that just so impressive is we already have about $25,000 in commitments for next year. So there was between the revenue that I shouldn't say the revenue that the music festival pulled in from this event, plus the amount that's budgeted for the DDA for next year, plus the pledges for donations that we already have, we're at about $25,000, which is almost what it cost to put the thing on. So that's just great news for next year.
Thank you. Planning Commission?
The Planning Commission has a meeting tomorrow night, and the only item on the agenda is a discussion of proposed cryptocurrency ATM ordinance language.
Thank you. Parks and Rec?
Parks and Rec, so we have, our next meeting is tomorrow at 5 p.m. to talk about the Ghostly Glow event, which will take place this Sunday from 3 to 5. If you weren't at it last year, you missed a good thing, so you should come this year. It was awesome. So bring the kids, bring a costume, wear a costume yourself. Last week or the week before, we had a puzzle event that was very successful. We had 9 teams competing, and unfortunately the professional team won, and they finished their puzzle about 45, what's that? You were last? Yeah, 40, but it was all for fun. So they finished, I think, 45 minutes ahead of everybody else. But it was really fascinating walking around and watching, how everybody attacked, what logic they were using to finish their puzzle. And then this really doesn't fall under the category of Parks and Recreation, but it was an event. So I want to congratulate the Women's Club for their estate sale. I think it was genius of them to have it at the time of the No Kings rally, because that put a lot of foot traffic into that building. So I think that was great. I bought a few things. I think Jason
I was there.
And Maria.
Oh,
So
yeah.
It was great.
I was out
It
of
was great.
town. Let me just start saying where I'm at.
Yeah. So, and that's it for Parks and Rec.
Thank you. Tree Committee, I cannot open up the minutes, so I apologize. I can't open them up, so I'll skip it. School Board, I don't see anything from them either. Finance Review Committee.
Finance Review Committee, so we had a event yesterday at Big B Coffee, just another opportunity to give residents the ability to come in and ask questions about Headley or anything else. We have the second to last town hall is tomorrow at 7 p.m. At City Hall. And then the final town hall about Headley is Thursday, October 30th at 7 p.m. If you haven't been to one yet, hopefully you will come to one. Again, I've said this before, the goal of the town hall is not to encourage you or incite you to vote one way or the other. It's just to give you information so that you understand what you're voting on and what the ramifications are if it passes or if it fails.
And an opportunity to ask questions.
Yep.
Thank you. Unfinished business, new business, 0 to 14, Lions are up.
Some of us are recording the game.
I'm just helping the people that are still sitting here. So, unfinished and new business, anything? No? Public comment, if you would like to be heard about anything for 3 minutes.
My husband's a super fan, not me. Lauren Barris, is this Maria's last meeting?
No.
Okay, we have another meeting with you?
Well, not in a meeting, she'll have a study session.
Oh, you have a study session. Well, this is our last, actually, city council meeting. Thank you so much
Yes.
for stepping up. We really enjoyed having you, and I thank you so much for putting your hat in the ring.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that. It's an honor and a privilege.
Great. I also wanted to talk about Chief Zhang. I'm looking so forward to it. I can't say enough good things about him. And I've had the privilege of working with him, and he's not only efficient and trustworthy and loyal to the city, but he is just such a kind, good person inside and out. And I wanted to talk about the protest. We had over 450, like between 420, 470 people show up for this protest, No Kings Rally, and it was amazing. And Kim Hodge organized that group, and I think there were a couple of other people. It was amazing. And Mayor Garrett, I remember you saying at the last study session, not this one, but the study session before, telling us about the women's estate sale. And so, and then Kim Hodges made it a real point to say, hey, if you're out there doing the protest, please also come into the estate sale. So I did. I spent more money than I expected to. But yeah, I went in there too. And I think it's important for all residents to support all the events. I want to extend that to the residents who haven't come to the festival yet. Come to the festival. It's all about community, and so was the estate sale. And it was a really nice estate sale. The last thing I want to talk about, and I don't know who to address this to, whether it's Mike or council. There was a letter going around online, and I'm sorry, I forgot my phone, so I can't access it right now. My memory tells me it was some letter that was about finances and about us being, the state telling the city that they were over budget, and it made it look like we weren't spending our money right or something. So I just don't know what that really means, and wondered if you could address that too. Thank you.
I forgot who wrote it.
This is just the monthly usual. This is from my block. So this is just to remind council, city attorney, and Mike Green and everybody here that this is still going on. That our community is being littered every week by somebody advertising various things. I see through the plastic something that begins with Gardner and ends with White. That's kind of the principal advertiser here. They're not getting their money's worth, so maybe people should give them a call and let them know they're not getting their money's worth. If anybody here keeps birds, you may have this. But this encourages copycats. So now, apparently, we have local businesses participating in this activity.
Is there a postal thing on the back of it though?
Well, but it was, no, well, let's see. Actually, yes. But it was found in the ditch. So
that-
this might have just been
Something that's a fluke
something that fell
bad.
out of a mailbox.
Yeah.
Okay. But let's be vigilant that we don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So we're happy about this pizza still.
We're good with
Okay.
that one, not good with the other. We got it.
The other thing that I noticed this past weekend, there were a lot of signs in the community, and I see the signs for, I do see that somebody did pick up the signs for 248 brick and mortar repair scam. I added scam. That's just allegedly, but
Oh.
you know what? If you're advertising your business door to door without a license or by placing
Permit.
signs in the public right of way, I don't want to use your business. I want the guy that has the waiting list. The other thing, I had a couple things that I mentioned in the study session. I'm not going to bring those up because that was for future consideration. But one more thing I forgot in the study session was I think it would be good to look at trees that are blocking drivers' views in the community. I have one across the street from me that I promise I will put in C-Click fix tomorrow. It is in front of a city-owned property, an oddball city-owned property that also has some drainage issues. So I'm going to get those all in tomorrow, and we'll see if C-Click fix is now working, at least getting things to the right people. But it might be good, but I noticed when walking around, I saw some other similar situations where pedestrians, bicyclists are in danger because drivers cannot see around corners that have, where there are trees right out on the corner.
Right.
So that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anyone else want to be heard?
Karen Harris. Lauren, thank you because you just brought up a whole bunch of great things. I'd like to repeat what I said in study session about the book that was put out for publication in August of this year called Remarkable Women of Oakland County, Michigan by Christine Blackwell. This has different chapters of various women: Mary Barra, CEO of GM, Madonna, Anne Marie Roper, and Louise Lathrop Kelly. And the important part here, though, is our own Robin Roberts is authored in there. So she contributed to that chapter, and her name is throughout the book. So hopefully people will take a look at that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, John Suzanis, Rainbow Drive. Just two quick things, really. On the solar thing, it sounds great, and I was wondering, it sounded like you got a lot of good information that, if it hasn't already been, if there's a way to, have a package of that that's shared with residents as they make these decisions, or even look into it, would be great to leverage that. The other thing, I just wanted to say, I'm a big fan of Lieutenant Zhang, about to be chief. I've had several occasions to work with him directly, and he's been great. But I would like to suggest, for future consideration, that there's more to the process of seeing multiple candidates than just getting your perfect candidate. And what I mean is that there's value to the candidate that gets the job. In this case, I'm sure it would be Lieutenant Zhang, but there's value in going through that process. But there's also value to other candidates who maybe wouldn't get it, but it's an opportunity for them to interview, to start to get their chops. It could even, I don't know the situation entirely in this force, but sometimes it's someone that's not next in line, but next in line that might want to interview, even though they're not quite ready for that job. It gives them that experience, et cetera. The other thing that you get out of it, if you're the city or the chief of police in this case, is you get exposure to some different ideas. And your eventual candidate might say, hey, I thought of all these things, but I never thought of that, and now I'm going to incorporate that as well. So I would just like to suggest that there is value in that. If you asked me to recommend somebody from the force, I would have said Lieutenant Zhang. It's not about that. I look forward to having him as our chief of police. But I do think that process is a worthwhile one, and even when you have your perfect candidate, it has value. That's all I had to say.
Before you leave, so do you remember when we went through it with the chief?
McKee?
Yes, thank you, Chief McKee.
Yeah.
Do you
I mean,
remember?
I know that when it happened,
But do you remember everything that
No,
we?
I don't,
Okay,
yeah.
so the reason why I think we all, well, I think it was just, you might have been on here still, but I know it was you, is that it was very expensive to do that. And then when it really came down to who it was and the people that we were getting, the best candidate was Chief McKee. And it's something that, because I suggested it too when I was newer in doing this, and it's something I felt very bad about till this day, because it made it seem like I didn't have the trust or the, what's the other word? The confidence in people that have been doing this job for X amount of years, that know our city, that know our residents. And so I appreciate, the suggestion. We went through it.
Yeah.
And we saw what it was like, and it was an apology that I had to give, and give again to Chief McKee, because it is something about building up the morale of the current people that are here, even with the fact is that we tried that with the city manager some years ago, where we wanted to, when Matt became the city manager, to do that type of, succession planning. It's about morale, it's about trust, and it's about confidence, and then it's about, it cost us a lot of money to do a search across the city, and, well, not city, excuse me, the state and the country. I just wanted to tell you the reasoning behind it.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I know we don't go back and forth here, so.
No, it's fine, because I mean,
Well,
we're already-
the only thing, I wasn't suggesting a full-blown search. I just, if you open that position, you can do interviews at a fairly low cost. The other thing I'll say, and this is personal experience, is I was next in line for a job in my corporation. Everybody said so. There was a succession plan. However, my boss's boss that I was replacing, my boss, forced me to go through that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And what I took away from it, I felt some of that.
Mm-hmm.
But two things happened from that. One was I think was better off for having gone through that process and having to really collect my thoughts and put it together, et cetera. The other thing, though, that made clear from that point on, and this gets to your point, is if that's the process and everyone knows it's the process, it takes away that oh, we're hurting your feelings. I think, you know, the community, like I said, 100% behind Lieutenant Zhang, but I don't think his feelings would be hurt if he'd known, you know, if that was this, we just do it this way. So that's my suggestion, but I hear what you're saying, and I think morale is important as well.
Thank you, appreciate it. Does anyone else want to be heard? Anyone else want to be heard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. So, a great call on the solar ordinance. I will be working on a personalized plan for the city, but in the meantime, there is a document. It's kind of a book through MI Eagle that the residents can use, just a guidebook on solar ordinances, not ordinances, but solar panels usage on various structures. So I will have that shared with online on the city website tomorrow, and we'll exchange that out for the actual document once that gets made. So, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mayor and council comments. First, I wanted to say that I took the liberty of signing us up for a bowling tournament for the Southfield Chamber of Commerce at the Mint. I am looking for a couple more bowlers that I've sent it out to everyone. It's October 30th. One says it starts at 4, the other one says it starts at 4:30. So I would say just to be there at 4. If you're interested, let me know, because they are asking me to give them the names for that. Sorry, Mayor Pro Tem.
I've been referred to as much worse.
Mayor Pro Tem already
yeah.
told me that he cannot do it,
Yeah.
so I appreciate that. And the other thing is, it seems like it's self-serving, but the reason why I want to read these things to you, because I want you to know that every time I leave out my house, I'm advocating for Lathrup. It doesn't matter where I'm at, I'm not advertising, but advocating for Lathrup. And we have we've received approximately almost $7 million from state and federal
7.2 last I checked.
dollars from state
And that's in 8 years. The last 8 years.
Last 8 years. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because, yes, we've been applying for grants. Are you leaving?
No, I just unplugged my computer.
Okay. Yes, we've been applying for grants, but it's a fact about talking about this great city. And it's talking about you all, and it's talking about all of the things that we want to do. And I'm saying that. So I'm going to read this letter, and I'm as much as I'm going to try to read this letter, because it's kind of written in hieroglyphics, but then it's from Haley Stevens, and it says, "Dear amazing Kelly Garrett, I love who you are, how you do it, and all you represent. Working alongside you, sharing something together that helps make all of this worth it. We're here to serve and forge relationships, right? Keep shining, my friend, and thank you for," what did I say again? Thank you for everything. And so, just saying, I don't want you to be thinking that that's a self-serving. And I got this outstanding community service award. The person who brought it did not want to do it. She said that I can do it for her. And this is for the dedication and commitment to the New Hope Community Day. And this was about getting food to children, and it's about making sure that they had what they needed for school. And so those are just things that's important to me. And so I just wanted to read it to you.
It's good for the city. It's good for the city.
I thought so. I try to represent, well, I mean, I know there's others that think I don't. It's okay too.
Mayor, that's New Hope Missionary Baptist, or,
Yes,
thank you.
yes, yes. Pastor Dr. Aaron Chapman.
Chapman,
Yes.
thanks.
Anyone else?
Yeah, so before I do my council comments, I want to ask Mike to address Lauren's comment. I know what you're talking about. There's a letter that was circulating that talks about actual expenditures exceeding amounts authorized in the budget, which it's more of a ding. It was a ding that we received in the audit, more from an accounting perspective, as opposed to money actually being. I mean, all that money was approved and so forth. I think people are trying to use that as saying that we have an expense problem. But I'm going to let Mike explain it because he's going to do a much clearer job than I'm going to explain it.
I don't know about clear because it is governmental accounting, but just this part can be clear because it comes straight from our audit. So the general from this past year, where they're referencing that letter, the general fund realized $146,248 more in revenues and other financing sources than anticipated for the fiscal year. General fund operations also expended $11,223 less than the approved expenditures and other financing uses. So that's from this past year. And another part of it comes to timing. As we try to do budget amendments as close and as accurate as possible, sometimes a bill might come in July or August that hits the previous fiscal year. For this year, it was probably most likely a road or utility fund as we were wrapping up projects. But it comes down to accounting and timing, and unfortunately, sometimes we can't catch all the bills that are coming in.
Okay, and then in terms of my comments, so one thing I do want to mention one more time, that there is a town hall tomorrow at 7 p.m. But I also want to mention, based on the emails and the phone calls and bumping into people at the No Kings rally and some of the other contacts I have, there's clearly some confusion and misinformation that's out there. One I asked Mike to clarify in the last e-newsletter, but I just want to mention, when we put the original documents together that indicated the cost to the residents, and we had the charts so you could figure out exactly how much the Headley override would cost you, that was all relative to the 2024 tax year. And on September 2nd, we entered into the 2025 tax year. So what people have been erroneously doing is looking at that old chart and saying, all right, I'm the average resident, it's going to cost me $280, so it's going to cost me $280 more than I paid in 2025. It's $280 more than they were paying in 2024, because if you remember, in the 2025 tax year, we had a 2 mil special assessment. So relative to the 2025 taxes that residents paid, it's only a 1 mil increase. And so what we did is we updated all of our charts. Mike included it in the e-newsletter. It's also updated online, so if you go to the city website and you hit the Headley Initiative button on the right-hand side, you can get to the chart that's been updated, and it will show you, relative to your 2025 taxes, what the Headley override will cost you. So it's not adding that number, it's not adding to the 24, it's adding to the 25. It's adding 1 mil to the 25. So I encourage people to look at those charts. And then just two other things. One, I want to offer the family of Georgia Rasmussen condolences. I don't think there's a whole lot of people here who didn't know who she was. Unfortunately, she passed a couple weeks ago. She was definitely a spitfire, the type of woman who said what was on her mind, was always engaging and fun to talk to, and yeah, so she's going to be missed. And then I want to acknowledge you one more time, just for you, not him, you, for stepping into the role for 6 months and helping us out to fill Dalton's shoes, and providing your insight and your knowledge and your comments, and just basically stepping in to help the city out at short notice. So.
Would you like to say something?
Well, I just want to, thank everybody for the opportunity to serve, truly. And I so appreciate all of the residents who are so engaged in our community. I love that. I love the questions. I love people who are interested and involved and, come and show us, what's being left on their lawn. I love the engagement and the people with the questions, ask questions. Mike has answers. Ask questions, become engaged, informed, and make decisions that are right for you and your family. So thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I also want to acknowledge Maria. I really appreciate your calm perspective, that you do a great job expressing your thoughts and opinions without being, pointed in it. Like you're pretty balanced and unbiased, and I really appreciate how you've supported us. So thank you for that. You've always done that, even when you were on council before. So it was part of the reason why I was one of the people, we all supported you coming back on the council. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
I did want to read an email public comment that we got into the record. Dear Lathrup Village City Council members, I would like, this is from Diane Anderson, I should say. Dear Lathrup Village City Council members, I would like to take this occasion to congratulate Tim Hillman, member of the Lathrup Village Planning Commission, an all-around great Lathrup Village supporter, for the tremendous effort he has made in putting together a tribute to Bill Beskey. Bill was Lathrup Village's only veteran to die in the service of his country while actually living in Lathrup Village. Tim has made contact with the Beskey family members who sent photos of a young Bill in his Annie Lathrup School, Bernie Junior High School, and Southfield High School class of 1967 days. Tim obtained a copy of the 1969 Life magazine edition in which Bill was featured. Tim also wrote away and got a rubbing of Bill's name from the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C. Tim is now having these items professionally framed so that they can be displayed in the Lathrup Village Municipal Building. The company he is using for the framing is the one that my mother and I have used 51 times, so another quality of the work they do. Quality comes with a price, however. I am attending a Democrats meeting tonight and thus cannot attend the Lathrup Village City Council meeting, at which I would have heartily thanked Tim for this most magnanimous act of kindness. I will be donating $50 to help Tim with the cost of this project. I am asking that this email be read out so that others will hopefully come forward to help Tim with the cost of this tribute. Diane Anderson. I do want to say that we did, Bruce and I got a message from Tim letting us know that he's collected all the donations he needs to pull off this project, so even though Diane is encouraging people to donate, it's not necessary. I do want to note that this tribute to Bill Beskey was triggered by there was a memorial to Mr. Beskey at one point in City Hall, but it has been lost to time and changes in the City Hall. And instead of just focusing on what happened to it, Tim took the initiative to do something about it. Mm-hmm. And so it's great that he did that. I can't wait to see once this thing is finished and we can display it somewhere and honor a really great contributor to the security of our nation, and represented everybody who has lived in Lathrup Village and will live in Lathrup Village in the future so honorably.
Thank you. Anything else? Maria, I enjoyed spending this time together again, almost like old days. So thank you also. And then just again for the bowling, it includes appetizers, wine, and beer, just to let you know. And it's lots of fun. So that's all that I have. But take a motion to.
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved in second, and we are still up by 14 points. Thank you, and we're adjourned.